So guys, very big news on Andrew's release. As we already know, Stefan is pretty well known since the Tate arrest. A lot of people aren't too keen on him, as he switched his opinion on Andrew and because they believed he was a lawyer, but he has confirmed he isn't and he is studying law. So he has a good understanding on the rules and what can happen. Well, he makes a very valid point. Make sure to watch it all to get a full understanding.
What can happen next, and then you can make your own predictions. But to get back to my point, I think here's where it gets interesting. Right now they have been released on house arrest, which means that for the next 30 days they are going to stay under house arrest and they are not allowed to leave the house. There are some circumstances in which they are allowed to leave the house, but they will always have to notify the authorities in regards to those times where they are going to leave the house. However, the law states very clearly that even though the house arrest is a form of arrest on itself, the total number of days that they can be kept under house arrest is equals 180 days. And here's the thing, it does not count to the maximum number of days that they can be kept under arrest during the investigation phase. That being said, based on the Romanian law, from this moment they can still keep them under house arrest for the next 180 days, which is crazy if you think about it. So now comes the question, is this a move made by the prosecutor in order to keep them detained for a longer period of time? Because just think about it for a second. House arrest, prison arrest, yes, you could argue that the house arrest is definitely better than the prison arrest, but it's still a form of detainment, right? So you are still not allowed to leave your house. You still have lots of restrictions. For example, you are not allowed to discuss with any of the victims or any of the witnesses that are involved in the case. You are not allowed to discuss with third parties about the case, and just some other general restrictions that you already know about. So I think this might be a play, actually. So in my opinion, there are two options for this. It's either the fact that the prosecutor hasn't been able to bring further evidence in the case, and that's the reason why the judge said, okay, look, you didn't bring anything new. We can't just keep them under arrest for that long. We need to at least keep them under house arrest since you didn't provide any further evidence. And I think that might be the case. Or option number two, it was already planned, so they can keep them detained for a longer period of time.
Regardless whether you like Stefan or not, you have to agree he makes a very valid point. So technically Andrew can now be kept a further 180 days if the judges want to. Of course, no one wants this to happen, but we can't forget how corrupt they have been in the past. I mean, being on house arrest is a lot better for Andrew and Tristan instead of being inside jail. But like Stefan said, is Romania making a move to keep the brothers for an extra 180 days? We must not forget that they are still not released. We must keep praying that they put an end to this case, and look at the truth always wins.